Well, it happened. Rafa Nadal is out of the French Open. Alexander Zverev takes out the king of clay in 3 straight sets. It was a close match. It was fairly high level from both guys, but just not enough left in the tank for Rafa to beat a top contender like Zverev. So we're going to talk about, is that Rafa's last match at Roland Garros ever? What's next for him? Is he going to play the Olympics or Wimbledon or nothing? Or where's he going? We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the other results, big results from day 2, and we're going to look into day 3. Already huge storylines here at the French Open 2024. So let's break it down. Here's the slice. It is shocking to say Rafa Nadal has lost at Roland Garros. It's like really something people never say. It's only been said or needed to be said 4 times in history. This is the 4th match. Just think about that for a second. The 4th match Rafa Nadal has ever lost at Roland Garros. He started playing here, I think, 2005, 2004. It's 2024. So that's just crazy. Just crazy dominance here. But as we suspected, Zverev, who is playing great, is looking in great form, looks like the Transformers Bumblebee car, takes out Nadal. And what else can you say? Well, what I can say about the form here was that it is a bit of a shame that Rafa Nadal was not seeded. You can see how he would have beaten many of the other players, before we get into the stats here, many of the other players at Roland Garros. And people are talking about if he was, given a seed just by kind of being like, oh, this guy's won the tournament 14 times, we'll give him a seed. He might have been able to play a qualifier, play someone less good than Zverev in the first round, find his floor and kind of play his way into the tournament. That didn't happen, obviously. So he just got a full meal deal straight away going up against the 4th seed. And Zverev took care of business. But if we do put up the stats here, it's interesting to see. Obviously, the match was over 3 hours, 6-3, 7-6, 6-3. And there was a lot of back and forth in this match. Obviously, Zverev held the advantage for most of the time. But, and a huge 72% win rate on first serve is massive. And Rafa's is, probably the lowest of his career, 58%. But if you look at break points, opportunities, Rafa created 11 breakpoint opportunities. Zverev had 18, but Rafa only converted 2 of 11 for breakpoint percentages, which is 18%, and Zverev got 6 of 18. So it's not like Zverev destroyed Rafa in any means. Like, Rafa looked better than probably the best he's had all year, in my opinion. The best he's looked on the clay. So that's an interesting data point there, because obviously before this, he said, no, hold off with the farewell ceremony. This might not be my last Roland Garros. And I'm like, is this just like, is he having a hard time hard time committing to something? But you never know, obviously, with him. But, he did say that he probably won't play Wimbledon. He said the transition is going to be hard from clay to grass, and then the clay, because the Paris Olympics will be back at Roland Garros on the clay. He doesn't really want to leave the clay. So you're thinking, is he going to retire at Roland Garros? Is he going to keep going? You never know. I think he's a guy that doesn't want to put a hard date on it, doesn't want to hang it up before everything's out of the tank. I think if he's out there on the court today playing with Zverev, hanging with him, breaking him multiple times, you got to think, well, I can still at least do this in some capacity. And maybe he's, self-aware enough to know that, it wasn't maybe realistic for me to come out here and win this tournament again. Although I'm sure some of you, his fans, would have thought that there was a chance. So you're saying there's a chance. Let me know your thoughts below. What did you think of this match? What did you think of the level from Rafa, from Zverev? Should Rafa retire? What do you guys think? What do you think? So that's the big storyline from day 2. Rafa Nadal is out of the tournament. Did he play his last match at Roland Garros? We don't know. Only time will tell. But for now, he is out. The king of clay is out. And that is pretty crazy, if you ask me. Canadians had a day at the French Open. All 4 of the core 4, as we call it on North of the Net, won their matches today in straight sets. Felix Auger-Aliassime, Leylah Fernandez, Shapovalov, and Bianca Andreescu, who I don't have a photo of queued up. They all look good. I don't see any of Felix, but he beat Nishioka pretty easily. Shapovalov takes out Van Ash. And Fernandez destroyed her opponent 6-0, 6-2, I believe. Got a bagel in there somewhere. And Bianca Andreescu played pretty good, taking out Sorribes Tormo, who's a tough opponent, obviously, in the first round in straight sets. So great day for Canadian tennis at the French. That's good stuff. Let's go back here to the tournament and look at the results from day 2 in general. Court Philippe Chatrier, we saw Ons Jabeur get her campaign started 6-3, 6-2. We saw Swiatek dish out one breadstick to the French woman Jean-Jean, 6-1, 6-2. Then we saw Zverev obviously take out Nadal 6-3, 7-6, 6-3. And then for the night match, they had Gael Monfils Lamonf take out Seybouf Wild in 4 sets for the night session. So what a jam-packed Court Philippe Chatrier. On Suzanne Langen, big matches. Jannik Sinner comes through in 3 sets, easily walks through Chris Eubanks in 2 hours. Stefano Tsitsipas also through in 3 sets. So 2 of the biggest contenders on the men's side getting straight set victories. Coco Gauff dishes out 2 breadsticks, says, see ya, thanks for coming out. Svitolina takes out Pliskova in 3, and Diane Perry takes out Ferro, wildcard, in 3 in a battle of the French women. Other big results here. Arthur Fils, the Frenchman, loses in 4 sets to Matteo Arnaldi of Italy. Maybe can't handle the pressure. Daniil Medvedev, wearing a very interesting outfit, won in 4 sets. People are saying it's the cat suit, similar to who am I thinking of? Serena Williams. That's a funny comparison for sure. A little bit different body shapes there, I'm just going to say, between Medvedev and Serena Williams. Ben Shelton takes out the Rat, Hugo Gaston, 6-3, 6-3, 6-4, 6-4. Shapovalov, Van Ash, 2 hours. Let's just take a little dig in here for our boy Shapstick. He hits 8 aces, wins 79% on his first serve. That is just a massive percentage. Let's go to break points. He converted 3 out of 6. I might have got that. Now that I'm looking at that, I might have read that wrong in the last game. Nadal Zverev match. Anyways, winners 35-29 on forced errors. That's always big for Chapo. Is he have a positive winner to unforced error ratio? He did in this match, so that's big for our dog. On court 7, Khachanov through, Tommy Paul through pretty easily, 6-2, 6-3, 6-1. That's good. That's a good result. Felix Auger-Aliassime through in 3, as we talked about. Tiafoe through in 5. I mean, this guy is just struggling. He is struggling, and he gets through Bellucci in 5 sets, and now he'll play Shapovalov in the next round, which is a pretty crazy matchup, if you ask me. And I think Shapo's got a pretty good chance in that one, if I'm being honest. And Sarandolo through, Samsonova through, Sebastian Baez through, Leylah Fernandez 6-2, 6-0, and then right after her 7-5, 6-1 for Andreescu over Sorribes Tormo. I saw Andy Roddick gave Bianca Andreescu no chance to beat Sorribes Tormo, and that is what you get for doubting a former major champion, former best player on tour. Put some respect on her name, Andy. Come on. And there we go. Bad day for the Finns, Virtanen and Ruusuvuori losing, as yesterday was a bad day for the Chileans. Now let's look forward to day 3. Court Philippe Chatrier, we got Zheng versus Cornet. Cornet always gets like the huge French ovation. Like, I don't know, they're obsessed with her. She gets a wild card. And Court Philippe Chatrier, I guess she's playing Kinwen, so that's pretty big. Casper Ruud, he'll make his start his French Open, and Djokovic and Sabalenka versus Andreeva. That'll be big. And then Djokovic versus Pierre Huget Herbert. So he'll kick off his campaign. And to be honest, guys, let's just be real here. Nothing is safe for Djokovic. There's no really safe rounds. I think after him losing in Geneva and getting no finals reached, no real good play for him on the entire year so far, basically, he said he wouldn't consider himself a favorite. I mean, he said that before, but I think that's true this time for sure. Let's go to Suzanne Langen. Rybakina will take her start there. Echeverry versus Arthur Cazot. My French, that's you got to admit, that's a pretty good pronunciation of the French names here. Dan Evans, Holger Rune, absolutely banger first round match on Suzanne Langen. And then we got Demonauer kicking off. We've got Azarenka, Keys, Fritz. We've got lots of matches. I think that's a fair statement. So what do you think? Is Rafa, let me know in the comment section below. Has Rafa played his last match at the French Open? Who's looking good? Canadians are looking good. Can any of them make a deep run? I asked it on Instagram. I'm asking it to you. Who else has impressed you today? Who else didn't? Leave your thoughts below. Appreciate you being here. Subscribe. Help us get to 20,000 subscribers. Thanks for being here. We'll see you tomorrow on